The JBL Charge 6, Ultimate Ears MEGABOOM 4, Sony ULT FIELD 1, Bose SoundLink Max, and Anker Soundcore Boom 2 are the most popular waterproof speakers of 2025. But which is the absolute best? We are going to compare them to each other and score them in various categories, with some categories holding more weight than others. In the end, we'll decide which is the best one based on the final score, and we will declare the absolute winner. Let's dive in. First, we are going to compare them on the sound quality category, which has a multiplier of 2. The JBL Charge 6 delivers a really solid listening experience with its well-balanced mid-range that makes vocals sound accurate and detailed, but since it downmixes stereo sound to mono and compresses the audio at maximum volume, it doesn't feel as immersive as some of the competition, earning it an 8.7 out of 10. Next up, the Ultimate Ears MEGABOOM 4 is a party starter with its 360-degree design that fills a space more evenly than the JBL, offering crisp and immersive sound with harder-hitting bass than its predecessors. Though I noticed it doesn't have the same bass weight or dynamic headroom as the Charge 6, giving it an 8.1 out of 10. For its tiny size, the Sony ULT FIELD 1 has a surprisingly smooth and balanced sound for vocals. But even with its ULT button pressed, the bass is not very substantial, and it can't play stereo content, with audio clarity taking a big hit at high volumes, which is why I'm giving it a 6.8 out of 10. The Bose SoundLink Max truly surprised me by creating a remarkably wide and spacious stereo soundstage that feels like it comes from two separate speakers, providing rich, deep bass and fantastic instrument separation that's in another league compared to the others, justifying its high-end performance with a 9.4 out of 10. Finally, the Anker Soundcore Boom 2 brings the energy with impressive, booming bass that can really carry an outdoor party. But this focus on the low end means it sometimes drowns out vocals and lacks the crisp, clear highs for more complex tracks, landing it a 7.5 out of 10. In the end, the Bose SoundLink Max takes the win in this category with 9.4 points because it delivers a true stereo experience with a wide, immersive soundstage that is hard to find in a portable speaker. Next, we are going to compare them on the battery life category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The JBL Charge 6 promises 24 hours of playtime, but when I pushed it to a more realistic party volume, I only got about 13 hours before it died, which was disappointing even if the quick charge feature that gives you 150 minutes of playback from a 10-minute charge is handy in a pinch. For its performance, I'm giving it a 7.0 out of 10. With the Ultimate Ears MEGABOOM 4, I could genuinely go for a full weekend camping trip without ever worrying about a recharge, as it consistently delivered on its 20-hour promise, unlike some others in this lineup, making it a truly dependable companion for any adventure. It easily earns a 9.5 out of 10. I found the Sony ULT FIELD 1 to be the least impressive of the bunch, since its advertised 12 hours of battery shriveled to a mere 6 hours when I cranked up the volume with the ULT bass mode on, which really is not enough for a full day out. This weak performance results in a score of 5.0 out of 10. The Bose SoundLink Max also impressed me with a solid 20 hours of playback that actually lives up to the marketing, although you will need to be patient as it takes about 5 hours to go from empty to full, which feels a bit slow compared to how fast it can drain if you are also charging your phone from it. I rate its battery a 9.0 out of 10. Finally, the Anker Soundcore Boom 2 proved to be a real powerhouse for its price, giving me almost 18 hours of continuous music during my testing, which is fantastic. Though the 5.5-hour recharge time without a quick charge option means you do have to plan ahead a bit. It is a strong performer, earning an 8.5 out of 10. The Ultimate Ears MEGABOOM 4 takes the win in this category with 9.5 points because it reliably delivers a massive 20 hours of real-world use, meaning you can trust it to last through any party or weekend getaway. Next, we are going to compare them on the durability and build quality category, which has a multiplier of 2x. The JBL Charge 6 feels like a direct and welcome upgrade in ruggedness, with its improved IP68 dust and waterproof rating, a wider and more stable base that kept it from rolling off my table, and tougher rubber bumpers that make it certifiably drop-proof from a meter onto concrete. Though its durable fabric still doesn't feel quite as premium as the steel body on the Bose, earning it a 9.0 out of 10. Ultimate Ears MEGABOOM 4 is like that tough, reliable friend who hasn't changed their look in years. It has that iconic design and a reassuringly solid, drop-tested body with an IP67 rating that I've personally seen survive a fall into a lake, But while its use of recycled plastics is a huge plus, the construction feels a step behind the Charge 6, and it looks almost identical to the last model, so I'm giving it an 8.2 out of 10. For its tiny size, the Sony ULT FIELD 1 is impressively tough, featuring a shockproof design and a full IP67 rating for water and dust protection that handled being knocked around in my bag without any issues. However, its sturdy plastic and fabric build feels functional rather than premium when you hold it next to the others, which is why it gets a 6.8 out of 10. This Bose SoundLink Max is without a doubt the most premium speaker I have ever held. Built with a gorgeous powder-coated steel body and a silicone wrap that feels incredibly solid. And while its IP67 rating means it can easily survive drops and dunks, its finish looks so pristine that I was genuinely afraid to scratch it, which is the only thing keeping it from a perfect score, landing it a 9.4 out of 10. Finally, the Anker Soundcore Boom 2 is the group's workhorse that I wouldn't hesitate to treat roughly. It's surprisingly sturdy for the price, floats on water with its IPX7 rating, and has a huge handle for carrying, but it's wrapped in what feels like cheap-looking plastic, a clear compromise for its party-focused, affordable design that earns it a 7.5 out of 10. The Bose SoundLink Max takes the crown in this category with 9.4 points, thanks to its exceptional premium build quality that uses materials like powder-coated steel, making it feel more like a luxury gadget than just a rugged speaker. Next, we are going to compare them on the portability and design category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The JBL Charge 6 continues its legacy with a reassuringly durable and familiar cylindrical design, now made even more practical with a new included carry strap that genuinely makes it easier to lug its 960-gram weight around, though it still feels a bit burly compared to ultralight options. I rate its portability and design at 8.2 out of 10. Next up, the Ultimate Ears MEGABOOM 4 sports a sleek and modern cylindrical body that feels rugged enough for outdoor use while looking stylish on a patio. And its 360-degree design is a functional highlight for group listening. I'm giving it a 7.8 out of 10. The Sony ULT FIELD 1 is incredibly lightweight at just under 680 grams, making it the easiest to toss in a bag. And I love its clever multi-positional design with rubberized ends that keep it stable. But the included adjustable strap feels a little flimsy for securely hanging off a backpack during a hike. This one gets a 9.3 out of 10. I found the Bose SoundLink Max to be a bit of a tank, as it's the heaviest here by far at over 2 kilograms. And while the detachable rope handle and rugged silicone-wrapped body feel premium, the finish is a dust magnet, and the completely unprotected ports on the back are a major design flaw for beach trips. For me, that's a 6.5 out of 10. Finally, the Anker Soundcore Boom 2 embraces its boombox inspiration with a tough-feeling plastic build and a very practical integrated handle. Plus, it can float, which is a huge bonus. But the lack of an official dust resistance rating is a notable omission for a speaker meant for the great outdoors. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. So for pure portability and thoughtful design, the Sony ULT FIELD 1 takes the win with 9.3 points thanks to its extremely lightweight build that makes it effortlessly portable. Finally, we are going to compare them on the value for money category, which has a multiplier of 3. The JBL Charge 6 is a fantastic all-rounder that provides a great balance of performance and price with its robust IP68 build and long battery life. But it's a shame it downmixes stereo tracks to mono and costs a bit more than the last version, which holds it back in this specific category for a score of 7.2 out of 10. The Ultimate Ears MEGABOOM 4 is a respectable choice because its price has not increased since the 2018 model, though with only minimal upgrades over its predecessor and some noticeable bass compression at high volumes, it is a solid but not mind-blowing deal, earning it an 8.0 out of 10. Sony's ULT FIELD 1 is a really solid pick that will not break the bank and offers excellent value for its competitive price. However, the bass response is still pretty underwhelming even with the special ULT mode enabled, landing it a very strong 8.7 out of 10. Next up, the Bose SoundLink Max sounds absolutely incredible for its size, with a surprisingly wide stereo soundstage and powerful bass that makes it feel like a premium product worth paying for. But that premium price tag makes it a tough sell from a pure value perspective when compared to the others here, giving it a 6.5 out of 10. Finally, the Anker Soundcore Boom 2 absolutely dominates this category. By providing seriously impressive sound and booming bass for its relatively compact size at a price that is just so much lower than most of its competition. And while the audio fidelity is not perfect, as it can sometimes lack definition in the mids and highs, for what you get, it is an unbelievable bargain, scoring a 9.5 out of 10. With an unmatched price-to-performance ratio, the Anker Soundcore Boom 2 takes the win with 9.5 points, thanks to its powerful sound and features that you would typically find on much more expensive speakers. The results of our comparison show each product shines in its own way, but the Anker Soundcore Boom 2 stands out with its score of 84.0. This speaker excels with its remarkable value for money, offering features and performance that rival far more expensive options. Its combination of booming bass, impressive sound quality, and long battery life make it an unbeatable choice if you're looking to get the most bang for your buck. I've enjoyed my time with the Soundcore Boom 2 for outdoor activities, where durability and affordability are key, and it's quickly become a staple in my portable speaker collection. As for the other contenders, they each held their ground admirably. The Ultimate Ears MEGABOOM 4, with a solid score of 82.55, delivers fantastic battery life and audio performance for those looking for reliability and style. The JBL Charge 6 and Bose SoundLink Max are close behind, shining in durability and sound quality, but slightly hindered by their higher price tags. Meanwhile, the Sony ULT FIELD 1 is an excellent lightweight option at a budget-friendly cost, although it lags in sound depth and battery resilience. In sum, there's a speaker here for every listener's preference, depending on what features matter most to you.